A scream pierced the air, followed by a splash. Then eerie silence save for the frogs croaking as Tiffany's $12,000 custom ATV sank into my backyard pond's lily pads. One moment her blonde hair whipped like a reckless flag. The next she vanished into 2 feet of murky water, a monument to her own folly. I stood frozen on my porch, coffee in hand, blinking at the absurdity unfolding before me. 10 seconds later, her head broke the surface, algae-matted, eyes blazing with betrayal as if I'd engineered her aquatic demise. "You'll pay for this," she shrieked, flinging pond scum skyward. That moment, as surreal as it was, marked the start of a legal storm I knew was coming. Tiffany had stormed into our rural haven 6 months prior, shattering the peace with her roaring ATV. She wasn't just noisy. She was entitlement incarnate, believing ownership extended to everything in her sight line. Her property bordered mine, separated by a 30-yard wooded footpath I'd tended for years. A quiet trail for my dog and my hand-built koi pond. Tiffany saw it once, deemed it her playground, and tore through it like a stunt driver. My attempts at reason met sarcasm or laughter. When I posted private property, keep off signs, she snapped one in half, leaving it on my porch like a taunt. The HOA, led by her cousin Chad, did nothing. Nepotism trumped fairness. So I fortified my land quietly and legally, reinforced markers, reflective signs, a solar light, and a trail camera to document her trespasses. I'd lived here 15 years, my sanctuary hard-earned. I wasn't letting it become Tiffany's racetrack. That Saturday, dawn, golden birds chirping as I sipped coffee. Then her ATV's whine cut through, louder than usual. A gaggle of women, her yoga group, cheered from her property as Tiffany, in a neon tracksuit and oversized sunglasses, revved like she was auditioning for a stunt show. I ignored it until she pointed at my trail, yelling, "Watch this, ladies!" My gut sank. She gunned it, ignoring every sign, tires spitting dirt. She hit the path at full speed, bounced, and struck the shallow irrigation trench I'd dug, hidden in morning shadows. It launched her ATV skyward, arcing like a doomed missile into my pond with a geyser-like splash. Fish fled, frogs scattered, and Tiffany flailed, emerging like a swamp creature, her designer gear ruined, phone bubbling underwater. She didn't apologize. She pointed a slimy finger at me, screaming, "You set me up!" Convinced I booby-trapped my yard, she ordered her friends to call the police. I grabbed a towel, not for her but to stifle my laughter, and returned to the porch. Sheriff's Deputy Johnson, who knew me, arrived, giving me a weary look. I handed over the trail cam's SD card. 2 hours later, a tow truck hauled her slime-coated ATV away as Tiffany, limping theatrically, snapped photos, muttering lawsuits. She claimed a sprained ankle, back pain, and pond trauma memory loss, demanding an ambulance. I watched, sipping a second coffee, my neighbor's dog at my feet. "I'm calling my lawyer," she bellowed, her voice echoing. A week later, a thick envelope arrived. Tiffany was suing for ATV damages, emotional trauma, reckless landscaping, and koi waste contamination. I stared, then glanced at my serene pond, shaking my head. She'd switched from physical chaos to legal lunacy, but I wasn't intimidated. I play quiet, but I play to win. Her lawyer was her ex-husband, Lance, a disgraced attorney known for shady tactics. His complaint accused me of malicious environmental traps and hostile landscaping intent. Poetic nonsense that reeked of desperation. Tiffany's audacity was her superpower, but she'd aimed at the wrong target. I called my lawyer, Evelyn, a razor-sharp veteran who'd clashed with Tiffany years ago over noise ordinances, earning her wrath in a local paper's HOA Hall of Shame. Evelyn read the lawsuit, laughing. She's suing for trauma because she ignored signs and crashed? We'll crush this. Tiffany took her victimhood online, posting selfies in a neck brace, arm sling, and crutches, despite only claiming an ankle injury. Her melodramatic posts called me a vindictive loner sabotaging her freedom, using hashtags like #PondJustice. The internet mocked her, dubbing her Swamp Tiffany, with memes of her crash set to banjo tunes going viral. Behind the scenes, Tiffany weaponized the HOA. Chad issued citations for improper water containment and unauthorized topographic manipulation. Code for my trench, demanding a $5,000 fine and pond removal. My pond, a decade-old fixture used by firefighters, was now a hazard. Evelyn pulled permits, proving its legality, predating the HOA, and zoned for emergency use. They want war? We'll give them paperwork hell, she said. Lance bombarded me with demands, financial records, irrigation plans, even a fish inventory. Evelyn replied once, "Your client isn't entitled to count the koi." The HOA's vote to enforce the fines faltered when neighbors protested. Fed up with Tiffany's reign, she stormed out, yelling, "You're enabling a landscaping terrorist." A game changer emerged. My neighbor Sarah's bird cam had captured the crash in 4K, showing Tiffany's reckless charge, her airborne baby shout, and her laughing defiance of signs. She even said, "If I crash, I'm suing." Evelyn called it trial-ending dynamite, proving intent and collusion. Armed with permits, footage, and Tiffany's own words, we were ready for court. The controversy split the community. Some saw me as a hero defending my land. Others feared my trench endangered safety, sparking heated online debates about property rights versus recklessness. Tiffany fueled the fire, accusing me of digital harassment via memes I didn't create. In court, Tiffany entered like a diva, neck brace tight, sunglasses on, clutching a folder of evidence. Lance trailed, looking defeated. Evelyn, cool and lethal, faced Judge Thompson, known for slicing through theatrics. Lance's opening painted Tiffany as a victim of my landscape weapon. The judge's twitching lip hinted at skepticism. Evelyn countered, detailing the pond's permits, my signs, and Tiffany's trespass history, subtly noting Chad's bias. The 4K footage silenced the room. Tiffany's gleeful defiance, her suing boast, her mid-air bravado. Lance stammered about edits. The judge, noting the wildlife cam's authenticity, dismissed tampering claims. "I see reckless disregard for property," she said. Sarah testified, deadpan, about her cam's history, mentioning Tiffany's kayak turn compost stunt. The judge stifled a chuckle. Tiffany's testimony unraveled. She claimed my gnome provoked her, said koi glared malevolently, and insisted signs were ambiguous. Evelyn showed her flipping off a sign, then read her text, "If I crash, I'll sue." The judge's furious scribbling signaled doom. After a recess, she dismissed Tiffany's case with prejudice, referred her for perjury and frivolous litigation, and halted the HOA's enforcement pending review. Chad and the gallery blanched. Tiffany ripped off her sunglasses, storming out, Lance trailing. Evelyn grinned. She sank herself. Tiffany didn't quit. An anonymous email accused me of koi trafficking, with blurry pond photos circled in red. Police laughed, filing a counter-report for harassment. The county investigated Tiffany's false claims, threatening sanctions. The HOA ousted Chad after neighbors aired years of grievances. Stolen tools, baseless fines, a dog fashion show on someone's lawn. A documentary filmmaker, Paul, proposed a film, Flight Risk, about the saga. I agreed, controlling the narrative. Sarah's footage, Evelyn's takedown, and neighbor stories made it a viral hit, sparking debates. Was I a defender of rights or a reckless trapsetter? Tiffany emailed, "You could have made me look worse." "Thank you." I didn't reply. Her lesson was learned. I expanded the pond, adding a fountain dubbed Tiffany's Landing by kids. A plaque read, "Private property. Respect the splash." A ceramic ATV riding figurine, Flight Risk, adorned the bank. The HOA, under new leadership, hosted a pondside picnic celebrating peace. No ATVs appeared. My koi swam, the fountain sparkled, and I sipped coffee, knowing truth, resilience, and a well-placed trench had reclaimed my sanctuary. Years later, the pond became a protected wildlife area, a testament to the importance of respecting boundaries and the unexpected beauty that can arise from even the most absurd conflicts. And while Tiffany eventually moved away, Her legend lived on, a cautionary tale whispered among neighbors about the perils of entitlement and the enduring power of a well-maintained koi pond.